Okay, so hi all. Today I'm going to explain the SQL and what is the necessity of SQL and why we need to learn in a modern technologies. Okay, so what is the use and what is the benefit of using the SQL Server? And so the agenda is as a data engineering. So we need the SQL Server as a backend database tool. So we must need to learn SQL Server, and so I'm going to explain in detail about what is SQL. So the SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Okay, so S stand for structured. So structured, and Q stand for query. Okay, and L stand for language. Okay, so L stand for language. So this is the abbreviation of SQL Server. So SQL S stand for structured, and Q stand for query, and L stand for language. So that is called the SQL Server query language. So now let's come when it is started and where it is started. So these SQL in the format of the standards are ANSI standard. Okay, the standards are ANSI standards. So what is ANSI? ANSI is the American National Standard Institute. So the format of SQL which designed in this language, ANSI format. Okay, and when it is started in 1986. In 1986 year, this practice is started, and it is recognized by ISO on 1987. Okay, so this is the history of SQL. Okay, so it started on this year, and it is recognized on 1987 by ISO, International Organization Standardization. Okay, so what are all the standards which provided required? So everything they bought from this ANSI standards. Okay, so now let's come into here. So what is the necessity of learning SQL? So example, you are studying in a college. So in a college, so there are so many students. Okay, so example, I have started a college on 1980s. Okay, in the 1980, I have 10 students. Okay, so 1980, my college started, and there are 10 students. But now, till 2025, my college is grown up, and now there are 1 lakh student all over the globe. Okay, per on an average. Okay, so started on this year, and so till running, this is the current year, and till this year to this year, my college or my organization grown up, and now it is 1 lakh. Okay, so if you see here, there are 10 students I have started, and now there are 1 lakh student all over the globe studying in this college. So 10 students maintaining, so example, in earlier days, so they are maintaining some record books. Okay, so if we use the record books as an example, so how you will maintain till 25? This is, there are almost 45 years gap. Okay, so this 45 years, 35 years, so what, whoever studied, okay, so whoever studied in this 35 to 45 years, so all the students history maintaining is very difficult, right? In a record book, example, I am the student, I want a TC, and I have studied in 91. Okay, so 1991, I am the student, and I want a, convocation or a TC from this year. So I went into a organization, and I have applied for the convocation. And example, if we are maintaining in a record book, okay, to search for 11 years. So 11 years, right? So 1980 to 1991, it's 11 years. So this 11 years, there are so many record books, right? So we have so many record books till this 11 years. I don't have any database actually. So this is current scenario. So this 11 years, and so to check the assistant for the record books, so they used to maintain some racks in colleges or organization. So they will, the record assistant will go and they will search for the year wise, they will represent some racks in that, and they will search, and they will search entire book manually. So these are all manual work, right? So a person need to be there, and that person need to be go into that record room, and he need to find out those particular records, when whether this person really studied in this organization or not. It is a really headache, and there is a lot of human intervention in this process. Okay, so to avoid this process, this kind of manual works, instead of records, so simply I can maintain some database where I can go and simply see my data. Okay, so that's where the database came into picture. And so now almost any kind of sector, they are maintaining their databases. Okay, so these databases are very, very important, and really um, uh, i- really benefit for any client or any organization to quickly check their information. So we are not maintaining for 1 or 2 years, right? So we are maintaining till when the organization started. In this scenario, I'm going to buy one database. That database will maintains the data from 1980 to till 2025 year, or whenever the organization still live. So at that moment, so we are going to maintain this particular databases. Okay, so these databases are really important to uh, to maintain all the organization or any company related information. It's really very important point for any organization. Okay, so that is the benefit of using the um, DB. Okay, so that is the benefit of using the databases. So now, what this database and how many are offering these databases, how many companies are offering, so all those things which I'm going to discuss. So basically, we call the databases, SQL database, as RDBMS. Okay, so RDBMS is the one which we are going to represent in the format of RDBMS. So let's abbreviate this. What is RDBMS? R means relational, D means database, DB means database, and M means management, and S means system. Okay, so here R stands for relational. So relational, and DB stands for database. So DB stands for database, and M stand for management, and S stands for system. Okay, so S stands for system. So this is the RDBMS one. So SQL, we call it as a RDBMS. So relational database management system. Okay, so what is the, what why we are calling a RDBMS? So usually in the database, if you take anything, it's related with the another object. Okay, in a simple terminology, if family is there, if a family is there, okay, so if you take family, so family having who and all there in family, family having father and mother. Okay, father and mother. So again, so these two are main, right? So father and mother, and similar way, um, their kids, and again here their kids will come, kids, and so similar way like your uncle, aunt. So there are so many relationship which comes here, right? So in this view, so you have some uncles and grandparents, so and uh, sisters, brothers. So all these kind of relationships will be there, right? So if you take as a family structure, so this way the relationship will grow. Similar way, database also having the relationship. Okay, so in the RDBMS, the format of maintaining the data in the formats of tables. Okay, so we'll maintain this data in the format of tables. So we will represent any RDBMS, we are going to represent the format as tables. Okay, so we'll store the data in the format of table format, and each table have their relationships. Okay, so once this data is related, okay, so we are going to do all our data manipulation. And why we need this and relational manipulation, I'm going to explain in the join scenario how it will be applicable. Okay, so similar way in the market, let me represent. So there are various other RDBMS tools are there in the market. So let me represent those tools as well for your understanding. So here, basically these RDBMS are offering by other companies as well. Okay, so we have a top one is Microsoft MS SQL, and next one is the IBM. Okay, so IBM is the one, and next one is the Oracle. So Oracle is the another one. So Oracle is the another one, and DB2 is another tool. Okay, DB2. So we are offering DB2 and MS SQL, MySQL. Okay, we have already. So MySQL is another one, and Microsoft Access. Okay, so these are the tools are called as a relational database management systems. Okay, so I'm Microsoft Access. Okay, so these are all the tools which are having the RDBMS relational database management tools. These are all the relational management tools which are used in our current technologies. Okay, so it depends on your client. Okay, there is no restriction to use only the MS Excel or MS SQL or MS Oracle or MySQL or Microsoft Access. So it's a client choice. Client can select their own database and they can utilize their services. Okay, so currently we are learning the MS SQL Server. So this is the pillar. So if you learn this language, so these are all will be similar tools. Okay, so minor command changes will be there. If you learn one relational database tool, so it will be similar for all other databases. Okay, so some minor commands will be there, that's obviously there, and we can just learn those commands, but at the moment not required. These there is no necessity of learning all these tools. For us, as part of data engineering, we need SQL Server, so that is enough for our course. Okay. So in a DBMS, I told we will represent in the format of tables, right? So how we are going to represent the data in a table? So let's take here, this is my table. So table contains rows and columns, right? So it is divided into the rows and columns. So let's represent here, this is my table and I have the columns and I have the records. Okay, so these are all will be there. So example, I have a customer, so I have represented it as a customer ID. Okay, and another one is a customer name. Okay, so this is my another column, customer name, and another one is my customer location, and another one is the customer have the product. Okay, so these are all the columns example there. So we are representing these tables in the format of rows and columns. Okay, so similar way, each record is divided or column is divided with a separate line. You see here there is a separate line for each column. Okay, to represent this data belongs to this column value. Example, customer ID is a 1, so this value is belongs to customer ID. So customer name is something A, so here is a customer ABC, so is a customer name. Okay, so here is the person, so who is the customer name for this one, and he belongs to India, and product belongs to laptop. Okay, so this way we are going to represent all the information in our RDBMS language. Okay, so SQL is in a quick review, SQL is a structured query language, and it is in the format of ANSI standards, and it started in 1986 and ISO is a 1987. Okay, so we used to maintain not only this one, you can take any company. Example, I have started a retail company, so that retail company is started on 2000 year. So to maintain my company employees history or company related staffing data and their products, everything I will maintain in a database so that I can analyze my company sales and I can make the decisions. Okay, it's not only for to check the data, it will be helpful for my business trends. Okay, so how my business is grown or my fall downs of my business. So let me represent in a chart here. So example, so in this scenario, I'll just represent here in a chart. If you see here, my business started on this year. Okay, so example, my business started on 19. Okay, here I'll represent 2000. Okay, 2000 year, 2000 year I have started, and it is very minimal at the time. Okay, so the sales are like some 50%. Okay, 50% are sales happening at the time. And similar way, in 2021 I got some less sales, so minimum is, so in 2021 year, okay, 2001, okay, 2001 year, so my sales are reduced. Okay, so my sales are reduced to 30%. Okay, and again on 2022, again my business fall down. Okay, due to some reasons. Okay, so let me represent here 2020. 2002, again there is a downfall of reduce it to 22%. Okay, so 22% my business fall down. Okay, and again on 2023 there is another fall down. Okay, so it reached to again some 10% of sales. Okay, so it fall down to 10% again. Okay, in 2023 year, business again fall down and it reached to 10%. And after that I made some decisions. I have, so business came and they checked, and 2000 year I got more profit, 50% at least. It's not 100%, but 50% is good, right? So, and after that 2001 year we made some changes into the business, and that caused the downfall. Okay, business, they will go and check why it got downfall. That might be their company rules, or there's so many circumstances, or business competition, or the product is not good. There are various reasons for downfalls. Okay, and again business, they did not taken any action, and it reduced it to 22%. And again still business not acted, and it reached to 10%. Now business came to know why this downfall is happening from here to here. So then business started investigating, and they're again fixing those problems. Okay, and they made the products as good quality, and after taking all those necessary changes, again business will be grown, okay, up to the 70%. Okay, so they made some changes, and that's why their um, profit again increased to 70%. Because due to this database trends, they have analyzed, business analyzed their problems, and they took some decisions over here on 2024 2004 year, and they landed into the profit. Okay, so that way business will take their decisions, and they can increase the they can take the decisions to check their business downfalls and up and downfalls. Okay, and they will take the necessary actions accordingly for that. Okay, so SQL is a very, very important tool. Any company, example, you are using the Google Gmail, right? So Gmail and Facebook and LinkedIn or Instagram. So any application, if you take any app, so without database these apps won't work. Okay, so everything is maintained in a database. If you take a Facebook, so your Facebook, every detail will be available in the Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn. Okay, so wherever you go, so the database will be there, and the database will be used to store their information. Okay, so they will calculate how many customer took the recent Facebook accounts per day, how many accounts are getting created, and per month how many accounts, per week, per quarter, per year. So like that way, so business will check their counts, whether the peoples are decreasing or peoples are increasing. So all those trends they can check by using the SQL Server database languages. Okay, so that's all about today's class, and tomorrow I'm going to explain about the commands. Okay, so we have a SQL commands, so that I'm going to explain in next session. Thank you. Bye.